Big story, dropped Monday. Janet Dabbs, Lake News Online. It looks like the Fosters, they present at the Republican Central Committee meeting, and they announce, look, we're moving forward with big things in store for the outlet mall.
Yeah, Chris Foster, his dad, Dr. Dan Foster, they tried to buy the outlet mall a few years ago. That deal kind of fell through. They had problems with the city, but they're back now, and Chris Foster's talking about it. He says, I think there will be more excitement for this than anything that has happened in Camden County in decades. So he's talking about the Oasis theme park too when he's saying that. He says he is the Horizon Development Director. This is Chris Foster. Said he could not divulge everything about the project because a lot of things are still in the works, obviously. And he said, quote, we are bound by confidentiality agreements with many of the tenants we're working with now. Sky Real Estate purchased the property December of 2024. So it wasn't that long ago, about 6 months ago, something like that, from Simon Properties, 60 acres, 391,000 square foot shopping center. And obviously it's declined over the last decade, right? Kind of in ruins to a certain degree. And Foster, believe it or not, he actually attributed a portion of the decline to the previous owners, Simon Properties. He says they own so many properties around the world that they have invested zero effort into this one. And I think there's some truth to that. I think that was one of the reasons this property went down. They're looking to get a TIF, right? Working with the city, again, for a tax increment financing deal. That's called a TIF. The city of Osage Beach seems to be working well with us this time, Chris Foster said. That was one of the reasons it fell apart last time.
Yeah.
And I think Foster said, we were the group that planned to redevelop the property 3 years ago. We had an impasse with the city of Osage Beach. So obviously there was a problem. They could not get worked out. Now they're back around for a second try, it looks like. The Foster family has been here at the lake for a long time. His family homesteaded in the area in the 1820s, and they have been big property development people, condos for many decades. Retail shopping, Foster said they're working to bring back some of the tenants that were there before, former tenants like Nike and Gap. They're going to have what they call a baker's market, which is interesting. A new baker's market planned for the backside of the mall, which is like a farmer's market. Fresh local produce, baked goods, as well as the addition of local crafters, woodworkers, and artisans. Entertainment, there will be an entertainment zone. It will include a hotel, pickleball, sand, volleyball, indoor swimming pool. They're thinking about putting a library in there, and they tell us what they will not have in there. They will not have a movie theater, will not be housing, all right? People have talked about maybe some new houses, condos and stuff. He said, since they're working with a TIF, they cannot do housing, apparently. Not sure why. Foster wasn't able to reveal the name of the new mall or the start date, but he did say the lake area would see bulldozers start to work in the next 6 months there. So big update on the possibilities of the new outlet mall.
Yeah, I found it interesting too because Don Newhart, he was quoted in the article as saying, I'm all for this, I'm not for a TIF. Most of us here locally think that you should bring your own, because anytime locals here at Lake of the Ozarks hear TIF, there's this sense of panic, right? And so there's a couple of questions here, and they say, yeah, we're working with the city on a TIF already. This is all according to Janet Dabbs' article with the Lake News Online. But when Chris Foster was quoted as saying that we've been here before a couple of years ago and the city was an impasse, well, basically saying they put a roadblock from us completing that purchase.
Yeah.
And so I reached out to the city of Osage Beach and talked with Mayor Michael Harmison, and he said he kind of found it strange that the article quoted them as saying the city is working nicer with us this time on the TIF, because according to Mayor Harmison, the last meeting the city has actually had with this ownership group, which allegedly he didn't even know Chris Foster was a part of the ownership group.
Interesting.
He said was December 12th of 2024. So the city was a little caught off guard by that report. Now, he said the city absolutely wants this to go forward. He would be excited to see it happen, but they have not been approached since December 12th. And he said if the new ownership group or the developers, are looking to get this happen or need assistance, the city is open to discussion and would love to be involved in the process. But there is a bit of a discrepancies from that report and saying we're already working on a TIF in regards to Osage Beach saying, hey, we've not talked to the ownership group since December. So maybe they feel like they've got something going, but not with us, not since December of last year. So over 4 months have passed. Interesting timing for this article to come out from Janet Dabbs and Lake News Online. Seems to be a bit of a disconnect in regard to the city and their communication with Horizon Development and the Foster family and what's to come of the outlet mall.
Yeah, and another interesting thing Chris Foster said here was, you know, when he was talking about that market they're putting on the backside, and he says they're really working hard to redevelop some stuff there. They have purchased the Quail's Nest Hotel. This is the people that bought the outlet mall, apparently. That's located across from Deerberg's. And he said they plan to take down the trees on the backside of the highway so there will be more visibility from the street to see the back. And he says the focus on the backside will be to have direct access from the road, pushing the traffic to the back of the property and utilizing a roundabout for easier traffic flow. So, I mean, it really sounds like from Chris Foster, they've put a lot of thought into this. They have a lot of plans. Apparently, they haven't talked with the city much about it, though.
Not according to the city, not since the Horizon ownership team, December 12th of last year. I found that interesting.
Yeah.
And so we'll continue to follow that.